Hi, welcome to my sewing room. A couple of weeks ago, I did a field trip to JoAnn Fabrics to see what I could find as far as supplies for smocking, heirloom sewing, and for the Sewing for Baby video series that I was running at the time. And I will put a link to both that previous video and to the Sewing for Baby playlist if you are interested in either of those. And in that field trip at JoAnn Fabrics, I bemoaned the fact that I couldn't find any cotton knits. And I was particularly looking for cotton knits because, of course, that's a wonderful fabric to use for baby garments. And in particular, most pink holly bush patterns use cotton knits. So I wanted to see what they would have. Well, I've gone back there. I'm happy to report they got in a whole new line. It's called their Pop line of cotton knits. And so this video is, I'm going to share what I found and also give you a review of the fabric. But first, I am Lisa from Pink Holly Bush Designs, where we talk all things sewing and smocking. And today we are going to be talking about cotton knits. So let's dive in. Okay, what I found. Well, first of all, the line was, there were a lot of choices, which I was glad to see. They were mostly prints that I would say are geared for children, which you might expect with the cotton knit. Of course, there were a lot of florals and some neutrals that certainly could be used for an adult garment, but you know, for the most case, they were what I would call children's prints, and you might suspect that just by the name of the line, the Pop line. I was happy to see that there were quite a few prints that I would say could go for a boy or a girl, especially if you're sewing for a baby and you don't know if it's going as a baby gift or your own child, and you don't know if that child's going to be a boy or a girl, and so you want something that can go either way. There were also a number of prints that had a different color background other than white or cream, which I know from you know, a number of moms, especially if you have a little one who's starting to crawl and move around, you know, having something that maybe hides the dirt a little bit better can be advantageous. So one of the fabrics I found, let me show this. This is this pretty Swan Knit. Again, this is one that I think can go for a girl or a boy, and I'm going to make this up for a baby gift, and I do not know if it is a boy or girl. And again, I liked that it had this, I don't know how well it shows up in the video, but this is kind of like a soft denim blue background, which I thought was very pretty. I'm actually going to use this fabric to, I'm going to make it up in a garment that uses a smocked insert, and I'm going to smock swans by Molly Jane Taylor on the insert. So I'm looking forward to getting started on that. They also had a number of prints already, well, that are patriotic, so that would, you know, go for 4th of July, if you want to try and make something up quick. We're about a week out from that. And they all the way through Halloween prints. So if you're looking for that, they did have those in already. I suspect there will be some Christmas ones coming soon, but at least my JoAnn's did not have anything Christmas yet. So one of the things about the fabric was it was a mixture of jersey and interlock, and it was all mixed in together. So they did not have those broken out separate for you. So if you aren't familiar with the difference, a jersey is a single knit. The right side of it is the vertical columns of stitches. The wrong side will be the horizontal, like purl bumps. It will curl on the cross grain to the right side. An interlock does not have a right or wrong side to the fabric, unless, of course, it's a print and one side is printed and the other side isn't. But the actual weave of the fabric does not have a wrong or right side. It's actually essentially 2 layers of jersey interlocked together. So you will have those vertical columns of stitches on both sides. The interlock typically is a little bit more substantial, but it doesn't have to be. A jersey really can be in any weight. Now, in the particular pop line, the jersey was definitely lighter weight and thinner than the interlock. Okay. Now, being lighter weight is not necessarily a bad thing. With that lighter weight, you get a little bit more drape. So especially if you're doing an adult garment, like a top or something, you might want a thinner knit that has a little bit more drape. This tealy sort of green is a jersey, and here, let me show you. I have washed and dried this, so you can see that curl on the cross grain. So that's how you know that you've got that jersey. Which brings me also to something else I did want to mention. I was happy to see in the line that there were kind of some different colors, not just maybe what I would think, not just like typical baby blue and baby pink. There were some fun other colors, and this tealy green was one of them. So that I also liked. Let's see. Now, the one negative about, as I said, this being a thinner fabric is, again, if you were making something for that crawling baby, I'm not sure how well this would hold up. It is, see if you can see, a little bit thinner. If you probably cannot see on the video, but it's not sheer at all. I wouldn't worry about that, but it is thinner. So again, I don't know about holding up. Now, of the jersey, so this one is a jersey, and my swans are also jersey. Some were 100% cotton, and some were 95% cotton, 5% spandex. So my swans here are 100% cotton, and this teal is the 95.5. Now, the reason I bring that up is the teal with that 95% 5 is going to have more recovery because of the spandex in it. So if you're making something that needs that recovery, you want to keep an eye out for that and really look at the fabric bolts and make sure you're getting something that's going to have that. My swans are jersey, but 100% cotton. Though there's still some good stretch. So, but again, I would be a little bit nervous about the recovery since there's no spandex in it. Okay. The interlock was definitely a little bit heavier, a little bit beefier, and just seemed a little bit higher quality to me. So I have these fun little cars. I know, aren't they cute? And this is an interlock, and let me show you that. So you see no curl whatsoever. And again, this has been washed and dried. So you can see, and a little bit more stretch to it as well. So those were really cute. Another interlock I've got is this really cute floral. Again, this is that same denim blue background, blue-gray, which I think is really pretty, and I liked. Was just a little bit different, maybe a little bit more modern colorway. Again, this is going to get turned into a baby garment as well. Okay, what would I be concerned about? Well, the big caution is just that these, as I mentioned, I have washed them, they shrink. And they shrink substantially. So now, to be fair, I believe JoAnn's recommends that you line dry these, and I did not. They went right into the dryer because I'm going to be using them for baby garments, and a new mom is just not going to line dry you know, the clothes. She needs to be able to throw them in the dryer and just, you know, have them come out that way. So I did that. On a 1 yard piece, I lost 3 inches in length coming out of the dryer. So that to me is a substantial amount. You really have to make sure that you're buying a little bit extra. If the pattern calls for a yard, you know, and your 1 yard piece now ends up being 3 inches shorter, that could be a problem. So just to be mindful of that and know that that is what you are dealing with. Now I know you're probably thinking, Lisa, all knits shrink, or at least all cotton knits. Let's limit it to that. Well, no, not in my experience, they don't, okay? So in my shop, I carry Stoff of Denmark, and I carry Art Gallery knits, and both of those I have put through the washer and the dryer, and they have not shrunk on me. Now, they are more expensive than what you can get at JoAnn's, and I completely understand that, you know, budget is a concern for everyone. It's partly why I'm doing the video, to just let you know about these different things so that you can make a wise decision. So what I would say, well, there is an element in which you're getting what you pay for. The Art Gallery knit, the Stoff knit, they are a more substantial knit. They have more body to them. They are thicker. They're probably going to hold up longer. And you're not going to have the shrinkage. But at the same time, you know, the pop knits started at a lower price point. And of course, it was JoAnn's, so they were like 30 or 40% off the price point. So yeah, they are less than what you can get an Art Gallery or a Stoff knit for. So, right, balancing it all out. So hopefully this will help, and you can make a wise decision about what is the best product for you. And my last thing that I actually found there, just also a little bit different, this is actually a brushed poly. And again, if you saw my video when I went to JoAnn's, I am not a huge fan of brushed poly, but I have to admit, this one was really soft, and so I decided to give it a try. So this is not in the pop line. It is a separate line. It is sort of, in my JoAnn's, it was just the next aisle over. But one of the reasons I went for it is, I hope you can see, it matches beautifully with this fabric. And so I was like, ooh. And I will say, you know, like all things, there's just, within the same fabric, there's going to be different qualities. So you can get a brush poly that I feel feels really awful and is hard to work with. This one felt really nice, so I'm giving it a try. I'm actually going to try pleating this and see how that works. So I will report back on another video on whether or not brush poly is a good knit for smocking with, and we'll let you know. But my plans are to do something, putting these two together, and see what we can come up with there. So if you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe so you'll know when I do have new videos coming out twice a week right now, every Tuesday and Friday. And I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments if you give one of these, if you get to JoAnn's and you give their pop line a try. Happy sewing.